Three premiership contenders get knocked to the canvas in successive weeks as West Coast travel to Adelaide Oval for Friday night footy against the heavily favoured Crows. They return home with the 4 points and a home final for their faithful crowd. Welcome to Eagle Review, proudly sponsored by Masters. As always, Ben Roberts, you're at the game. What an unbelievable result. It's the first time since 2005, can you believe, the AFL have scheduled two interstate teams to play on Friday night fixture. And they didn't even schedule this one in. It's a floating fixture. Yep. I don't think the Crows will ask for it again.
No, it certainly didn't go their way all night, and that's because the Eagles turned up to play from the very first bounce and got the job done. It was a great victory, and they'd be brimming with confidence going forward.
There was a lot of pressure applied, really. They suffocated them and didn't really allow them to play the type of footy they wanted. We probably could have won by a lot more in the end, given wasted opportunities.
Yep, definitely could have missed a few and should have probably won by a bit more, but that happens sometimes. Adelaide are a quality side, but it all started in the middle, 24 possessions to the positive for contested possessions. So it started at the contest, and then I thought the team defence was as good as it's been all year on Friday night. They were very, very good. Didn't allow Adelaide, as you say, to get that quick ball movement that they like from half-back. Held them up. A lot of intercept marks. Really good to see. So it was a really good, strong performance.
I texted you when you were at the ground on Friday afternoon. I said it is probably Jonathan Giles' biggest game in his career. He's never played finals footy. He's on the cusp and possibly playing for his finals berth in this starting 22. And he's come out and played one of the most remarkable first halves for a pinch hit ruckman, you would say, coming in for Nick Naitanui. He was just remarkable and totally outclassed Jacobs on the evening.
Yeah, no, he was superb. And Simo said the next day, look, he probably exceeded what I was expecting he was going to deliver. On the night, yeah, he was great. Push forward, 29 hit-outs, 15 possessions, a couple of contested marks. Took that good one in front of goal and converted. So he went forward and had an impact. Terrific effort, especially with Scotty a little bit sore. And, geez, they were good together. And the week off, only going to benefit and rip into the finals.
Yeah, you know, when you're having hit-outs with your feet, you're on song for the evening. But they did credit Nick Naitanui and his leadership and mentoring in the ruck role, and a lot of praise going in that direction. The midfield as a collective were outstanding. I'll take Andrew Gaff on this one.
Sure.
41 disposals, career best. If you don't mind, he's had a ton of it. 7 clearances, which is hard to do for a winger. What about this? He's run 16 kilometres on the evening. Just blew up the GPS. It's getting repaired today. 2 kilometres more than any other player.
He runs hard, and people say, oh, he gets all the easy ones, but the reason he's by himself getting uncontested possessions, set a world record in the AFL history for uncontested possessions this year, so word on Gaffy, it's because he runs so bloody hard, and no one can keep up with him. That's why he gets it. And handball receives. Did I say that already? Handball receives. World record. Unbelievable stuff. But I also liked the games of 2 other blokes. Dom Sheed. Remember him? He's been slowly building after that injury earlier in the year, and he's had 2 really, I think he's hit his straps the last fortnight. 30 possessions again against Adelaide. Really important, I think. Underrated in terms of importance. And the other one was Chris Marston. The last couple of weeks, again, same sort of thing. He's really hit his straps with the rest of the team. They're getting that wider spread from the midfield. 27 disposals, but this is what I like about Masto. Another one of those hard runners. In fact, he's the hardest and best runner at the club. He got 3 rebound 50s, but he also kicked 3 inside 50s. Just showing that he's going everywhere. Bit of back, bit of forward. Really runs hard. So a good even spread in the midfield.
I like that stat. Pritis and Shuey, unbelievable, as they have been all season long. Lewis Jetta's a part of this midfield as well. His 2 first touches is exactly why you need him in the side. It's 2 lace-out deliveries inside your forward 50, setting him up. He'll want to get better consistency, obviously. He can fade out of games a little bit. He's doing a lot of work off the ball that fans might not see, but he is such an important cog. He doesn't need to rack up 20 every week. He just needs to find a little bit more than what he is.
Well, his numbers from earlier in the year when he was out of form haven't changed all that much in the last couple of weeks. But do you know what? His impact has bloody improved. And that's because of his work rate, his attitude. He's doing all the right things, as you say, off the ball. If you were to name the best kick in the team, who would you say? Shannon Hearn?
Yeah, it's line ball between the two now, I think.
He'd be close.
Yeah.
He'd be silver medalist if not gold.
And he's probably as long a kick as well. And people might not believe that, but I've seen him get onto torpedoes and drop punts
little
from 60.
Legs, you put those 2 blokes' legs together and you go, definitely banger.
Yeah.
Those little legs can do it. He's a great kick.
And 6 Jetta legs into 1 Hearn leg, I would have thought.
No, he's been good.
Yeah. You'd have to think Tom Barrass, big sniff for the NAB Rising Star this week.
Huge sniff.
20-year-old, he's had 10 marks, 6 contested, 10 spoils, and playing on 2 absolute powerhouses of the competition.
Do you remember his first game at the Adelaide Oval last end of 2015 when he just got the team got a bath, but he got a few goals kicked on him, and Adelaide were just unbelievable that day. So pretty stiff for the defenders, but last Friday night he was unbelievable. And 6 intercept marks from TB, just learning off his mate Jeremy McGovern, who plays a couple of doors down. A lot of marks off Oppo boots. He was just great, and his head, he's a very mature head for a young man, so only 20. So 24 with Gov, 20 with TB. Like it.
That's the Hale School tutelage, mate. We've praised defenders all year on the show, but probably time to pat JK on the back. He's gone back-to-back Coleman medals in another sublime season.
Yep, 80 goals for the season, which was the amount he kicked after finals last year. So he's actually kicked more this year, which is incredible. A lot of bags. He's kicked 13 goals in the last 3 weeks. No surprise that we've had good wins. 10 in the last 2 weeks, 2 bags of 5. He's been marking everything. He's praising the midfield, but geez, every team would love to have a big JK. And he's the first. When was the last time, Stephen, that a Coleman medal was won back-to-back?
Go on, give it to me.
I reckon it would be G-Train, and I reckon it was...
G-Train?
Yeah, and I reckon 03, 04.
I was going to say 0405,
Yeah.
so close enough.
Ballpark.
Yeah,
Ballpark. Around
yeah.
then, long time ago.
We've got the McGoverns now facing off in important battles now. They're both such reputable players for their team. I think Mitch almost took the mark of the year, got the spring. How would you be, parents in crowd, watching this one?
Oh, we'll see. Andrew, his old man, had the split jumper on. We've all seen that.
It looks
before.
shocking.
Yeah. Mitch gave Sharrod a nice knee in the head there, and dropped the car. But how about Gov's tackle earlier? I like that. Do you reckon he gained a yard of pace when he saw who it was? He was going to line the bloke up anyway. Perfect scenario for a tackler. Falling down with can't do anything. Hit him. Oh my God, it's Mitch.
Yeah, he couldn't wait.
Oh, big grin. He had a big grin in his face when he came out of that tackle too.
Scotty Lycett seems to have avoided serious injury. I think fans had their hearts in mouths at one point thinking, wow, we're really testing the ruck depth here. He went off the ground, went to the rooms, but obviously got taken care of, was able to play the game out. He's as vital as ever going forward. So that was good news, Benny.
Heart in mouth. Came back like the tough SA boy that he was. Hard as nails. And played through it the week off. Very beneficial.
Speaking of avoiding serious injury, I don't know how Rory Laird didn't have his ankle snapped in 4 different places in this tackle. Good to see he's all right and got up from that one.
Glad he did.
It's time for Roast of the Round, Benny, and as everyone knows, few nominations to go around. Let's kick it all off. The All-Australian selections. Matt Priddis didn't get a berth.
Yeah.
What about this one, mate? Because you got Gaff, Gov, JK Shuey. Well done, boys.
Yep.
Quality effort. Priddis, top tackler, 4th in contested ball, 5th in clearance average. It's not roasting the All-Australian selectors because it's hard to get all the midfielders in there. Probably because of blokes like this. Old Lee Gaskin from the AFL got old Andrew Priddis is having a remarkable game. So maybe there's 2 different Priddises up there and he's only getting half the votes.
Mine's across.
Yeah.
What about these guys? All the Adelaide boys trying to get Jack Darling involved in the game the other night. Luke Brown kicking out from goal straight to Jack Darling. Lever, drops a dolly. Gives Jack Darling a chance. Now, luckily for those two, Jack didn't quite have his kicking boots on Friday night, especially early. Turn it around the second half, Jack. That's what we like to see here at the review. Turn it around.
That's
in
the
face
one.
of adversity.
That's the one.
But they gave him a crack at it.
Yeah, and worthwhile to give it a mention. So we've got a couple of scrubber kicks here as well. Chris Marston off the side of the boot. Deliberate. Okay, we'll live with that.
No left.
But then Atkins just makes up for it all and goes, I'll give another shank kick as well. 2 back-to-back. That's a roast.
That's a roast. Now, this one was one of the more bizarre roasts of the year. Josh Jenkins had a phenomenal year, named in the All-Australian squad this morning, 40-man squad, kicked 60-odd goals. Terrific year. This was an odd moment. He brought up everything he had for breakfast that day and probably lunch as well in liquid form and then rinsed it, rolled it through the hair. I don't quite understand what was happening there. And on a Friday night, there's a lot of cameras there.
20 water boys.
And there's that many water boys. You've got plenty of options to get some liquid sustenance. I don't know what was going on there.
All of a sudden, Sahara Desert, ration your water, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Personal choice.
Yep.
Different cat, perhaps. All right, we're going to go with the winner. And it's unfortunately going to go to the man that we pumped up all show, Andrew Gaff. When Matty Priddis is at the coalface getting these hard touches for you,
Dishing you the footy.
there's no need to give it back to him and try and belt it as hard as he can in his face.
Matty's only had a couple of times where he's been knocked out in his career, and it's taken a hell of a lot to get that done. And this was no exception. He must have a great chin, as they say in the boxing circles.
Or is it a blight on Andrew Gaff's kicking power, perhaps,
Well, we
Benny?
gave Gaffy a pump up for booting it through goalpost tight from 55 earlier in the year. Surprised us with his kicking power. So he's a bit of an anomaly, Gaffy. Maybe he just sometimes put the foot down with a kick and sometimes he doesn't.
Must have seen Priddis' face come from nowhere. The hair
Pulled it late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right. We've talked enough nonsense. We'll see you next week.
Bye.